Hello everyone and welcome to round number 2 of season 4 here in tier 2 at China. We just had tier 3, we're back with tier 2 and we are back for another round of exciting racing. I am xPolygon26x and I'm joined once again by GSR Axe, and FH has been disqualified.
Could have probably been. For today, hello everybody.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the stream. Hopefully we get some more good action ahead. Last week at Bahrain, hopefully we see something similar today.
Yeah, we're gonna just talk about that. Beatnik's going really slow. I think he's spun and is letting everyone through. But I'll talk about last week. It was a pretty okay race. It was definitely clean. It was definitely a lot cleaner than it was last season. But not a lot of action. Which is what we kind of would expect from a track like Bahrain. But still wasn't a bad race. Super Whammy took his first win in ARL and his Beatnik's quite lagging. Hopefully that isn't for everyone, because my Wi-Fi starting to act up because it hasn't been incredible lately, but when it works. But yeah, Super Whammy took the win last week and in a very emphatic style. But yeah, it's great for him. It's got a message there, give me a sec. Oh. I forgot. Oh, okay. Yeah. I already made a mistake and forgot to make the party invite only. Thanks, Ryan, for giving me that reminder. Alabama Outlaw goes quickest, but yeah, Super Whammy absolutely dominated that race and took his first win. I believe if I have a look at the results, because I don't remember, because I have a short memory span. XBLO got second and Costa got third in his first tier 2 race and got a podium in his tier 2 race. Tripod came fourth in a very solid day for Alfa Romeo. FH scoring fifth in his first, maybe one of his first races. Alanis the champion, finishing sixth. So pretty interesting race in terms of a results standpoint, but in the actual grand scheme of things, it actually wasn't as entertaining as we were anticipating. As Tony Son's retired.
Yeah, last week
something's happened with Adam Fab. Bennett's taking 2 cars apparently.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem.
What
says he's currently 4th and 17th.
He's taking Adam Fab's car. Is Adam Fab in the session?
I don't know.
I don't know what we can do about that. It's just a stupid glitch from the game. I know it's not fair on Adam Fab because, you know, he wanted to do this race, but I'll invite him back.
This is one of his better tracks from recent memory as well. He's had a lot of good results here, so if he can't get in this race just because of a glitch making Bennett take over 2 race cars, that's really unfortunate. He's joined back.
Session.
See if he's able to get in the car.
But this is silly from the game, man. Like, why is it putting Bennett in 2 cars? This is just ridiculous, man. Codemasters. I think there might be. I mean, there might have to be a restart to the lobby because that's not fair on thing at all.
Which, he can't get in.
Yeah, I think we might have to restart. I know people be like, "Oh, it's for one person," but like that's just not fair at all. If it was for like something else, then we wouldn't let him back in. But like this is like completely not fair. So we're gonna have to restart.
Yeah, if he can't get in his car, I think we're probably gonna need a restart. Yeah, okay. Alrighty.
Alright, that's a bit annoying. I guess we're in for the long haul. I'll restart the lobby.
Bennett was so fat that he took up 2
Good
cars.
thing I'm on the Series X so I can get things done quicker.
Yeah, try and invite as many people as I can, just straight off the bat. People can
Yeah.
get teammates in and everything.
I will invite you there. Invite everyone straight away while I start the settings.
I'll just be doing one at a time.
Yep.
I'll just go from the top and then.
Oh, that means the weather's gonna have to be changed.
Yeah. Are we gonna do custom? Because we sort of knew.
Alright, we're gonna make a custom weather, so
It was rain right at the end, so.
I'll make it light cloud, light rain. Because there's supposed to be rain at the end, so.
Milo.
Alright, so it's light cloud, light rain. Unless, I don't know. These guys want to drive, but like it's raining at the end of the race. I'll just put it overcast at the end. Fuck it. Alright. Is there anything I need to do with the settings? I put it to official. Wait, I need to turn off braking assist.
Yes.
Think that's okay? I put on official.
We got most of the drivers back in here already, so hopefully once you're all set with settings, it'll be good. Who I still need? I need.
Oh yeah, I forgot to make it China.
That would have been bad.
That would have been embarrassing if I told everyone to already
Make sure the
was it China.
sorry, make sure the start time.
Splitter.
Start time's official.
Yeah, start time's official, so it won't be it won't be it won't be night.
I'm
It
still
won't be a night
missing
race.
tripods in here. I need call stack, I
Tony
think, and
still
that
needs
might
to
be
get
it.
out of Renault.
Why is he in Renault?
Sorry, force of habit. Who are we waiting on?
We need Alfie.
Alfie, yeah, forgot Alfie. Poor dude, we forgot to invite him. Hopefully he doesn't end up destroying everyone, because considering he has he's like a tenth off me in time trial. That's a bit scary.
Will be interesting.
And China's like not my best track. I mean, I haven't done time trial in ages, but that's a bit scary. Right. Instantly now. I don't care what anyone says. Ready up.
All right, I think we're good. You alright?
Yeah.
Take two.
Yes, take two. And I'm already in the session. Nice one. Everyone's probably loading in while I'm instantly in the bloody game. I almost said the F word. I don't know if I think swearing is allowed on the stream, so but I'm gonna say professional and not
Leave
slip
it
my
in a
words.
little bit of a moderation, but wouldn't be too bad.
So everyone's now coming out of the garage, thankfully. Race been set to fully dry. I was supposed to rain at the end, but been set to fully dry. No rain at all, because we decided on a majority vote that there was gonna be no rain, because the rain would have made it to the end.
It would have been close if the rain was gonna actually.
Yeah, if there was a safety car, then maybe. But like, I just decided to make it overcast for everyone. I just didn't want to make things worse for everyone. If you want to complain about that, fine. But you know, for everyone in the league, I guess that was probably the right call to do. And FH is better disqualifying himself again for the quali ban thing. Yay. I'll do this for a bit of fun at this point. But yeah. I'll feel how Nat laughs. This time Adam Fab is in the lobby. He's actually in his car.
Then it isn't taking up two.
Yep. So everything's good on that front. FH has been disqualified.
I believe the first one to start a lap will be Woman, and then Tony's son following him. So we'll see our first lap times popping up.
Oh, Whammon's invalidated already.
Oh no.
He went wide. I believe there's a Racing Point. I think Tony's son.
Tony is on
Dominated
a lap,
there,
so we'll see him
he's the
set the
first one.
first lap. Oh no.
But I'm so I forgot what I was even on. Um, I guess with whole glitch, everything is sorted now. I guess we can go talk about tier 3. Um, I'm not sure if you watched the race. I'm assuming you did.
I did, yes.
Yeah. You saw there was at the front it was completely dominated by Alistair Rundle, but in the midfield there was a load and load of battles. And a few talking points like the incident between it's feta cheese. A bit wobbly on those mediums. Um, yeah, Rundle dominated, but there was a lot of battles in the midfield. A few talking points like the collision between Bobby the Human
Yes.
and who else? Oh, Squid Jr. who went out of the race. A lot of great battles in the midfield. Just a shame that the front battle wasn't as
Yes.
great.
I'm expecting kind of something similar. To be honest with you, maybe not as much of a flat-out dominance, because obviously Rundle's main competition that race, Callum and then Rapid, who started second and first. They went on
First,
2 stops.
After putting in Alfie goes second, F1 Boy goes third, Bennett is quickest with a 29.7. Beatnik goes fifth, Tripod goes seventh. He must have made a mistake on his lap.
The nature of China, especially with the split strategy between soft hard and medium hard, creates it creates a big midfield train, as we saw last week. Train as well. There's just going to be trains galore, I think. Hopefully the battle for the lead is a bit more enticing here in tier 2 compared to 3. But I'm expecting some trains that may take up like good majority of this field.
Yeah, for sure. And in Fab goes fifth. There's a lot of places that you need to be careful of as well around China. A hairpin can catch you out.
Yes.
The left, right at the start set the 3 where Davies is going through right now. That could be a massive point where you can. Okay, the X goes quickest actually. Only 5 thousandths quicker. But you can. If you're running no traction. If you're running no traction, just keep interrupting each other, it's fine. But you can definitely spin at that corner if you're not careful. And turn 1, 2, and 3, that massive snail section can also be a massive spinning point if you're not careful.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lower low traction racetrack, low grip. That's the word I was looking for. Again, similar to Bahrain, tracks are very similar, especially on strategy and tire wear. I think we're definitely see a lot up and down the field here today. And then, at the moment, pole time, 9.7, a couple drivers, only 2 at the moment in the 29s. I'm expecting that to drop probably towards the lower 29s. Would you say probably like a 0.3, 0.4 maybe here for tier 2?
Yeah, I'd say that would probably be around the times people would be setting. Maybe a 29.1 for pole and then like second and 29.2. But
yeah, I'm not expecting a 28 here because that's a difficult lap to pull even for tier 1 drivers as well.
Well, unless you're Jack,
Unless you're Jack.
That's
Or
like a
apparently
banker time for him.
Busy Gordon, who just absolutely flies through quali.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this league who fly in quali, but then in the race drop off a lot. Friticos being an example of that.
42.4 right now.
42.4, but he is
absolutely flying qualifying.
Yeah. He does fly in quali though,
He
most of
does.
the time. Same with Super Woman. But Super Woman has improved definitely from last season. He'd usually always get penalties and be at the back in the races, but always get pole. But in Bahrain, he absolutely dominated. So maybe we could see more of that today. Well, not dominance, but like him being good in race pace and quality pace. We're gonna go on board with the champion Atlantis, see what he's doing on his lap. We're gonna take this corner. I want to say is you want to hug the inside for that corner, then try and hug the inside for the next one, but not go too deep. And he doesn't onto that curb. He goes inside, pretty nice there. Kind of want to send it through the second lap, but it's kind of hard to do that. Definitely
Yeah.
hugs the inside.
Difficult all the traction through this section as well here.
Take that very, very nicely. Onto the back straight, you just want to just stay on the left, I guess. Now for the hairpin, you want to brake at the perfect time. Maybe around like the 75 meters before the corner, and then you just want to have a good exit. Usually go down the
Right at the
50
50.
here, over the curb. That will be a lap of that, and that will put him provisional pole. Very nice lap from Atlantis there.
9.96. Competitive time coming out pretty early here. Track Evolution still shaping up.
Rossi goes 6th. He'll flag, I believe that is KDX on his outlap, slowing him. Yeah, he's slowing everyone through, and then there's McLaren off. I believe that is Bennett actually off in his lap. He was only a little bit down, then he made a mistake and went off. But yeah, a lot of people setting pretty decent times, but obviously the track evolution will start to come into effect, especially near the end of the session. We always see it in qualifying, people just improve at the very end, which is the best point where you want to set your quali laps. So we'll probably be seeing more of that at the end of the session. We're going to go on board a Custag here. Getting a bit of a slipstream from KDX, I think, because Super Wyman does go quickest. He goes over that curb. You can't do that, it can work, but you might lose a little bit of time. He kind of does. He goes into 4th gear. Short ship backs up into 5th as he goes 6th. Jeez, from 4th to 6th, the gap is 9 thousandths. That's a very, very close gap between 3 drivers.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like a 10th between 2nd and 6th. So already, Tier 2 already shaping up to be a very close session for sure. Alfie comes across the line and goes 7th. So maybe he wasn't the dominant
Maybe
driver
not.
we thought he was gonna be with his time trials, but maybe he fits perfectly into Tier 2's close nature. Maybe he's more of a time trial merchant and not an actual online race merchant.
Basically fruity.
Yeah, basically fruity. Yeah, he's pretty much the new Fruticos as long as he doesn't get pens. There's a Williams of Lift Whamming probably coming into the pits. This is where everyone would
KDX.
probably want to come into the pits.
KDX on a lap here, comes to the hairpin.
Oh yeah, he's gonna try and want to send it but not go too wide on the curb. He probably does that perfectly and he goes 2nd.
Just
Oh
barely
my
beat
God.
Atlantis.
Again, the gap is like a
9.6.
10th between 6 drivers. I think, yeah, Fruit goes 4th. It's been a very, very close session. Not really many people on the lap. People Alfie's coming into the pits, pretty sure. The Alpha Male of Tripod, who's on his outlap on the mediums. That's a very
Interesting.
interesting call.
If he can get that
I
to
don't.
work and he can get himself into the top 10, he's set for the race, to be honest. But
Yeah,
it's
we
gonna be
saw
a
what you told Elephant. That hard's advantage
yes.
really paid off.
Gonna be
He's
difficult.
probably gonna try that. Got P2 out of it, so Tripod's probably gonna get inspired by that and try and qualify on the means. It's gonna be tough considering the, like I said, the competitive nature of to. Now see how he takes. Yes, it's a very judge himself in the third. That's probably where you want to be. He's currently barely up on his first second. He must have messed it up somewhere. As he
Ooh, a
actually
snap
loses the
of
car,
oversteer.
and yeah, Santos lock pretty much over. He's probably going to come into the pits and go into soft because he needs to qualify inside the top 10 for sure. You have XP on a lap here. Will he have time for a second run? I don't actually know. I don't think so, but he's going to come across the line. It's a pretty okay lap. He's going to go 9th. And
Yeah,
Tripod's definitely going to
tripod's
be finishing
five
this lap.
tenths down.
There's no way he's going to be continuing this lap for sure.
If he
Yeah,
does it
everyone's
in
coming
this
into the
time,
pits.
should be able to get one more run in here.
Yeah, Whammond's gone out really, really early, actually. He definitely won't have time for another lap. This is going to be his last lap. But is this a good time to come out? Personally, I don't think so, but with
I would
Whammond's
have come out
speed,
a
I
little
think.
later.
Yeah, but as Bennett
Ooh.
goes quickest with a 124.9. No, 29.9. 24.9. Jeez, that's. I mean, you have to be like a time trial merchant or like a. Ti-
29.499.
yes. You have to be like a time trial glitch merchant to pull that stuff off, but yeah. The likes of Xpilo is only 9th, and he won't be able to set another lap. Same with, I think Rossi's starting his lap now.
Wong actually pulls
Um,
back into the pit lane. He doesn't even start a lap.
oh, he's not gonna have enough time to get another lap in for sure. So that's his session over for sure. Wait,
Unless
how
we
long
have a
is?
time glitch. We might have a time glitch here.
Yeah, how long is left in the session for you?
I have just under 2 minutes left.
Yeah, same. There might be a timing glitch because I load into the session like straight away. So
Able to get back out.
so I
Him
actually
and
think it
XPLO
might.
just got back in.
So I think I came in like a minute before these guys were able to come out. So I'd say they'll have a bit more time than what I thought.
Yeah, it's gonna be close, but I think they'll just be able to get back out in time. There's a lot of people exiting the pit lane now and out laps now, getting ready for their final times around in qualifying.
Just gonna assume there's 2 minutes 15 seconds left. This is like an extra minute. I'd say Tripod will make it for sure if we're going by how long's left. If there's like 2 minutes.
Oh,
Because
actually, Rossi's on a lap right now. He's coming to the line here, and then one more corner.
yeah, he sends it on there, but the best still gonna go 7th. So not a bad lap
It's a good time.
from Rossi there.
See, he's hoping that maybe he'll fall to like 11th or 12th here.
Yeah, 11th is one of the best positions you want to qualify in a league race
Yes.
for sure. So
Alternate strategy, and you can lead the alternate strategy group. That's the best feeling, because you get all the soft runners out of the way. It'll just be you're in some clean air.
Fruticos is out of the session. Yeah, everyone coming across the line to start their laps. KDX almost invalidates actually. Alas, these guys will probably make it if there's like a minute left. I'd say there is a minute left. I don't think Tripod will make it. I know Beanick will make it, Adam Fab will probably make it, Manny Moo will make it, Milo will make it, same with XBL, Gostag, Atlantis, maybe not Bennett. Bennett might not actually be able to make it. How little time left. Let's see, there's anyone coming across the line? I think Alfie's messed up his lap, so that's his qualifying session over. There was a McLaren coming across the line. That was, I believe, Manny.
Davis finishing. Actually, no, he's just starting.
Yeah, I think most people are starting their laps now. It's 15 seconds to go. They need to get to the line in time, but some people might not be able to. Bennett definitely won't be able to. 10 seconds to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, session's already over anyway, so the tripod will be starting 18th. Pretty disappointing from fourth place finisher last week.
KDX just up on his time, sends it pretty nicely to the final corner here.
That's going to be
P2.
Very close from KDX. Super Whammon's at 10th up. We're going to stay on board. Actually, the Alfa Romeo thing coming across the line. It's Kostag. He's the next one to cross the line. Rossi stays 7th. Same with Alfa staying 8th.
Kostag.
Kostag goes across the line, goes over the curb very nicely. And goes 3rd.
P3.
Jeez.
It's going to be Woman coming across the line. Atlantis in fashion. And then I believe Maddie.
Whammon. Pole.
There it is. 129.3. Atlantis, does he have anything? No. Down on the time. Maddie puts himself up to 7th. XBLO is currently 11th. Will he actually back out of this?
Yeah, he does. He's validated.
He validates it.
He
Puts himself over the wall.
He put himself over the wall. Jeez.
XBLO's won the poor man's pole position here.
Yeah, I think that's his second pole. Cause he got. I'm pretty sure he got pole in. Holy flip! Don't swear. Holy flip! Jeez. He's starting 11th though, so he's in a really good position.
Yes. Superwoman starting from pole position here. Only one to crack into the .3s here. It'll be last season's Tier 3 champion Bennett starting 2nd. KDX with a good qualifying result for him. P3, Kostag 4th. Atlantis 5th. Fruity in 6th. Matty Moo 7th. Rozzy 8th. Alfie George 9th. And F1 Boy running out your top 10.
Yeah, XBLO outside the top 10, notable name. Tripod outside the top 10.
I think Milo was 12th.
Yeah.
Definitely some potential for some good strategy calls outside the top 10 here. See who goes mediums, who will go hards. Anyone wants to risk some softs, I don't know about that, but we'll see. Opening up race director here. We'll see if anyone's swapped from mediums to hards. Looks like everybody
car is still functioning.
Everybody currently on mediums from what I can see.
Yeah, everyone's starting on me. XBLO's actually going into hards.
XBLO and Tripod.
And Tripod, yeah. I swear Tripod did something like last season where he like went very long on a certain tire.
I was gonna say he did something crazy last season and he pulled it off.
Yeah, he went like really long on tires. On like it was like inners because it was wet.
Yes. So 2 people trying the hard to medium or hard to soft strategy out. In Tier 3 we had 3 people do that earlier today. XPO 11th is very interesting. You would think he would go mediums to try and just keep himself in DRS of the top 10 off the gate. But we'll see how it works right
Yeah, I'm gonna go to two favorites. Actually, I'll let you do. I'm
now.
usually
Alrighty.
gonna let you do the two favorites at first.
Okay, I'll go with the guy in 4th place. I'll take Kostag. If you know the controversy from GSR's Tier 2 China race with him and F1 boy, Kostag ran a very awesome race. He has very good race pace here. I would not be surprised to see him challenge for a higher end podium position here. And I'll go with one outside the top 10. I'll take Davis from 14th. Very good result last weekend in Bahrain without a setup. And 14th on mediums. He's the third runner on the medium tire here. We'll see if he can move up through this field quickly and see if he's able to make it work.
All right, I'm gonna quickly go through my two favorites. Favorite one is gonna be Bennett.
Okay.
Obviously, he had a pretty, pretty not as good as much as we thought. Coming from Bennett, but he starts P2 today behind last week's race winner. He's definitely gonna challenge today for sure. And I'm gonna go with Milo down in 12th. Starting on the medium, starting 12th, he's the highest person on those mediums, so he's definitely gonna have a strategy advantage on those guys. But it's all about him capitalizing on the first lap collisions, because it's definitely I'm definitely seeing a first lap collision today for sure because of the nature of this track.
Yeah, this turn 1, even just all of sector 1, just that snail section-esque turn will cause something here.
5 red lights. Well, I'm not gonna probably
Wait for the 5 red lights.
Gonna wait for the people to rev it up. They're all revving up now, and it's pretend lights out, and away we go for the Tier 2 Chinese Grand Prix. I think Wamin got a better start than Bennett. Yes, he did. He got a very good start. I believe that's Kostek trying to challenge with a KDX. Yes, he is. He's gone around the outside. And I think he got the move done. He has fantastic stuff from Kostag. Alanis and Fruticos are going side by side. Same with Maddie and Alfie. There's a load of side by side battles as Expedition clips the back of I think it's F1 boy on the Ferrari. Expedition gets past Rossi.
So far, so good.
Rossi
No
and Milo
spinners.
side by side through that long right-hander, but Milo is ahead. Rossi's losing a load of ground at the start of this race. Feta now charging on him. So it's Whammon from Bennett to Kostag. So it's KDX to Fruity, to Alanis to Maddie to Alfie to George. Alfie George to F1 boy to X-Velo. As I believe Tolyson's lost a few positions as well to the Beatnik and Fav. Tripod's down in last, actually. He's had a really poor start, but he's on the hards. Those cards will start to come alive in the later stages of this race for sure.
Yeah, a very relatively clean lap 1. We've had a couple side-by-side action, and everybody's been able to manage on just trying to settle into a rhythm here and trying to keep it clean, hopefully. But how about Expo and Milo already moving up here? Expo especially on those hards. Rossi struggling just a little bit here at the start.
Yeah, as there's already many battles going on, but that's because DRS has not been enabled. Thankfully, the glitch where everyone's just like all over the place in the positions, but yeah, Bennett will have to try and get past Super Wyman. Apparently, Wyman's tires are almost on 20% after the formation lap because of how quickly these tires wear. So he's gonna have to nurse these tires for sure until he gets onto the hards.
he should be able to nurse them decently well compared to the people around him, because currently 2nd through 6th are all on a controller, and the next closest wheelman compared to Waman
As
is
Fed has gone off.
Maddie. Oh, Feta off at the back?
Yeah, he's dropped to last. I'm not sure what happened to him. He might have got pushed off or made a mistake or something. But he's down into last place. He's no damage, so he's still in this race. But
He hasn't lost too much time out of this. He's still in the mix. As
Beanick and
Tony Sun
Tony-
trading.
yeah, DRS has been enabled. Bennett's actually going quicker than Super Wyman at the moment. But yeah, DRS has been enabled, so we'll start to see some overtakes from these guys for sure. Because that long straight will definitely play a factor with
Ooh, Waman, snap of oversteer on the exit. Bennett
feeling the pressure of Bennett.
opting to not burn up the battery just yet. We'll wait probably for the DRS straight to try and power past Waman. And this is always an interesting part of the race because, for my personal experience on a wheel, the tires just feel absolutely horrible, especially in the softs. Once we get on the hards, it feels a lot better. And even though we have like a tire wear advantage technically, it just seems like the controller is just able to out traction. Obviously, you being on a wheel, we have our differences in our driving styles. You especially can relate to the pain of tire wear on a controller around here.
Especially around China when Tier 1 last season.
Yeah. Oh, we have
The
another
memories of me
off.
bought-
That's Adam Fav off at the snail
yeah.
section.
A lot of people caught out that snail section at the start of Sector 3. Feta got caught out as well. Speaking of Feta, he's gone past FH, but FH is now going to try and go around the outside of Feta, heading into this hairpin. It's a very big overtaking spot, but it's kind of hard to do around the outside. As Rossi's retired,
Rossi's out.
VSC has been... He spun, he pulled a Such from ABS Tier 1, where Such spun.
Looks like I think he's probably clipped this outside curb and just sent him straight into the inside wall.
That's his race already over. That's gonna let all the soft runners save their tires a little bit, and make the softs to hards a tiny bit easier.
Yeah, ideally you want to try and get to about lap 7, 8, 9 on these softs. We'll maybe see some dive it in early, around lap 6. Anyone going for a 2-stop would be even earlier than that. But obviously we saw a 2-stop. Callum lost about, what was it, 13, 14 seconds to run in the end, just because he had to fight through all those trains. So
yeah. It's the end of the VSC now. Wyman got a very good exit. It's now quite a good way clear of Bennett. As KDX is now trying to close in on Kostag for a podium position. As we say that, Atlantis is coming after Verticos down the inside, heading into the hairpin. He's gonna try and get the move done. He breaks a bit later, and
he's got it
Atlantis
done.
gets through.
Fruity very low on the overtake button. ERS.
Hasn't saved it at all.
He can stick with the train. Hopefully that won't make too much of a difference for his race.
As XBL and Milo are going at it, this is for a points position. XBL going to try and go around the outside, but there's a bit of contact between the two. But Milo stays ahead for now. But even despite that gap, Wyman gained. He's still
Alfie George has just spun out and he's out and retired. So not the prospect we were
the one that we all
gonna...
expected to dominate is out after 4 laps, and that's another virtual safety car.
Another VSC, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately for some, you can't. I don't think we're gonna make it back to the pit lane here. So again, allowing soft runners to just cool out the tires.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just shows that just because you're quick on time trial doesn't mean in race trim you're gonna be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that from experience.
Yeah.
Before, I know people like Fruticos and well, I wouldn't say Super Woman anymore. I think more Fruticos.
Woman's developed his race pace pretty decently.
Yeah, to be fair, Fruticos ain't doing too awfully at the moment. He's still
Yeah.
holding his own in P6, but like
He's made it
he'd
more
usually have
laps than
better
he did
quality
in
face.
Bahrain. So congratulations, Fruity. He's looking
But now
pretty good
the
here.
pit window is open for those soft runners. Thank you, whatever the AWS for giving us those graphics this year. But yeah, Wham's actually pulled a second from Bennett, so Bennett must have made a mistake because now he's being charged down by Kostai. Kostai could be in with a shout on P2 as FH
Ooh,
is
FH is left. I'll
lack
get him back
deception.
in.
Yeah, Feta and Tripod's gone past him now because of that. As Beanix gone off. He's went off at the exit of turn 3 or 4. I'm not sure what the corner numbers are, but it's not good for him. But further back, there's a bit of a gap starting to form between some of these guys. I mean, Alanis is now on the back of KDX. He's gonna get no DRS from Kustag, so he's gonna be a sitting duck to Atlantis.
Look at how much
Atlantis
battery Atlantis has.
Yeah, KDX still doesn't have too low battery, but still, this is going to be really easy for Atlantis here as he has so much overtake to use, and he's up at GP. But KDX is going to fight this back actually. Ooh,
Late on the
still
brakes,
side by side.
little bit of touch.
Still fair racing from these two as Whammond's gone into the
They
pits. He's
both
going to try the undercut.
Woman's pit, Atlantis and KDX both dive it in, and so does Fruity. Yes, he does. So that's
Yeah,
4.
they're all trying the undercut.
We'll see if they all elect hards or if anyone wants to try the 2-stop here. All do fit the hards. So that leaves just 4 people left on the soft tires. That'll be Bennett, Kostag, Maddie, and F1 Boy.
Yeah, now for well, not the net race lead, but for the lead on track. As Beanix retired in the pits, so we've already had 3 retirements in 7 laps, and that's not really down to dirty driving. That's just down to self-inflictment from people.
Yeah.
But yeah, here comes Kostag on Bennett. I'm not sure if Kostag's gonna go for me. He goes really wide onto the curb, but that's gonna lose him a bit of time.
I expect both of these guys to box this time, and F1 Boy, and
Yeah,
Maddie will have to
that'll
cut 1 lap
inherit,
extra.
The race lead to Expula, who's doing a really good job in these hards. The
Yeah.
other flag is a Ferrari gone off. That's
Feta.
He's definitely reset the track. I saw on the mini map his car went from the grass to
So, Kostag's just got a... Oh! Bennett and Kostag have collided! No, Bennett must have been going 1 more lap here, and Kostag ran into the back of him, going into the pit lane.
Yeah, well, there's no damage for Bennett, and no penalty
Bennett's
for
lost
Bennett.
a lot of time.
And Kostag's lost his front wing. So yeah, something must have gone horribly wrong. He's now stuck behind. He's not gonna be stuck behind the medium runners, and Xpilo, and also Manny Mumu. So he's lost so much time. I don't know what was happening there, but
Yeah, because Kostag was closing up a lot on that back straight there. You had mentioned it right beforehand. And then Kostag must have wanted to box this time, and Bennett probably wanted to stay out. Kostag was close enough to where he just probably clipped the rear end of Bennett while Bennett was turning in for the final corner. And Kostag was trying to go straight on. and trying to maintain as much speed as he could. Was just trying to go
Invite
flat out.
FH, by the way, because
Yep.
I don't think he got the invite. So XPLO
Okay.
has gone past Manny Mumu for the net, well, not net race lead, but for the race lead on track. Obviously, Wayman will have that race lead eventually, but Wayman now on Adam Fav. Adam Fav's not really gonna fight us, is he? No, not really. Well, he's gonna go back down the inside. There's actually contact between those two. Don't think there's wing damage, but
And
yeah,
it's a
Wayman's gonna
McLaren
try and
double
get back
stack
at
here
him.
as well.
McLaren double. Oh, this is gonna extremely kill Bennett's race. That's just a nail in the coffin because he's gonna lose so much time with the pit crew. That's just the nail in the coffin for Bennett as Wayman now side by side with Adam Fav.
And just about gets it.
As Fed is
Feta
retired.
retiring in the pit lane. That is 4 cars out already. Oh, okay. So Rundle has said both were trying to pit at the same time, and Kostag spun Bennett out here, and Bennett's
Oh,
car got reset onto the racetrack. Not on purpose, but the game just does that sometimes if you are so far off the road.
yeah, we're gonna have to look at that after the race.
Yeah, it definitely
Should
clipped. It
have caught
definitely
that.
was clipped by Bennett.
Yeah. If it is how it is, then that's probably going to be a big penalty to Kostag if that's the case.
Yeah,
But
because yeah,
you can't just ruin someone going into the pits. That's just really dangerous. That's definitely a penalty worthy for Kostag if that's the case. But we'll have to look at it later. The stewards
we'll
will make the
definitely be
call.
on that.
As now Wayman is trying to catch up. The next car ahead to him is Tripod. But to be fair, he's not been awful on those hards, but he hasn't really been near these medium runners. Say with Xpilo, who
Out of all this,
compared.
Atlantis has taken over P2 because of the guys at second and third colliding. So he's net P2 at the moment, about
He's not too
two
far
and
to
a
Wayman
bit,
either.
2 and a bit off Wallman here. He should be able to like use Adam here as a leapfrog down the back straight. Get him a little bit closer. We'll see if Atlantis has anything to say for Wallman here.
I don't know, but Alanis needs to get past Adam Fell because that's really the next guy in his way. But Wayman, again, driving really well. His race pace has definitely been improved upon. He's definitely become a pretty solid enough driver who could be. He's definitely now a big title contender now if he's going to win this race. But here comes now Atlantis on Adam Fav. Will he have enough? No, he's not. I don't think he's going to go for the move. Actually, is he going to go for the move? I think he has enough speed
To the
go for it. He
outside.
might go for a switchback.
Yes,
By
he
the looks of
is.
it, but he doesn't get the traction. He's on the hard, so it's kind of fair enough. He's gonna have to go for the move again. Heading into turn 1, is he gonna use his overtake? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
He's gonna go
To the inside
switch the
this
inside.
time.
And
And a
there's
little
a bit of
contact on the way.
But Alanis,
And
I believe, yes, Alanis is ahead. Forceful move,
just
but
slots himself in.
clean, not clean, but fair racing nonetheless. I mean, some moves you might say, oh, it's very dirty, but like, it's racing. There's gonna be moves like that. But Alas had a right to go for that move. But yeah, Fruity just behind KDX here. KDX, I believe once everyone pits is P3, so not bad from him. He hasn't had a solid enough race in a while, so this would be big for him if he does get a P3. But he's under pressure from Fruticos. and F1 Boy also in the mix as well. So these guys will be trying to do something about that. But as I say that, there's a battle between Tony Sun and Alabama Outlaw. They're side by side, but Tony Sun is ahead of Alabama Outlaw. Racing Point 3-4 at the moment, and Milo's trying to charge down Davis, who's the highest guy on the mediums right now. I'm not sure if
Yes.
FH has joined.
He
I think he has.
has, yes, but so
Alright.
far behind now. I don't know if he'll have to be praying for
Yeah.
his safety car.
Yeah, Bennett's at the back now, and that's a shame when that happened with Stag. Obviously, you don't want to see any driver being involved in an incident, but
Fruity just got by KDX here. That's a net position gain.
big move, yeah. And F1 Boy's going to be pressurizing KDX.
F1 boy on fresher hards. Maddie on the freshest in this little battle train here. So it will be interesting to see. Maybe not now, because they'll probably be similar grip. But as we get to the closing stages of races, those 1 or 2 lap advantages will be huge. Especially when we have the guys on the mediums who switch to the hards, and Xbulo charging back through on the mediums as well.
As F1 Boy picks up a penalty, that's going to be big, considering he's one of the front runners right now. Same with Kostag, he also picks up a penalty.
Again, this track's similar to Bahrain in the way where penalties, they can come, yes, but it's not a common, it's not common to see everyone in the field get at least 3 or 6 seconds, you know? A lot of people will be able to keep it clean. Davis...
He's the first one to come in on those mediums. What's he trying to do? He's gone to the hards. Pretty obvious call there. Xbulo is 3 seconds clear of Milo, who's 2 seconds clear of Thing. Now, Whammon, I would say Whammon is currently 12 seconds off Xbulo. Now, bearing in mind, Xbulo has to pit, and he's probably going to go into mediums or softs. If Xbulo pulls off this strategy, he could actually be one of the people battling for the win here today.
Yeah, he can. Especially because Wallman pit lap 6 on those hards. Those will be dead at the end of the race. And XPO being on the mediums, he'll be able to just push and push and push. We'll see if he could be in it for, like, obviously, I think he might be able to get a podium. Nonetheless, to win. So Davis was the lead guy on the mediums. He's come out 13th here, 2 and a bit behind F1 Boy. So that'll show where Milo, Tony, and Bama will about come out, as Milo and Alabama both box this time.
Yeah, that one. I'll put Tripod P3B's 11th. He's now under pressure by Whammon. Tripod might actually help XBO here if Tripod ends up holding up Whammon. I mean, Tripod hasn't been that quick at all this race, so he's definitely going to be falling down the order on the pits once the pit stops come around. I think he'll come around 14th where Bennett is, but yeah, it's been a.
For those asking in chat, fastest lap currently held by Super Woman and
Oh, Fruticus is around!
No,
he's gone
Fruity.
off. He's still has his front wing intact. He didn't crash or anything, but he lost quite a lot of crucial positions. Now that's.
Is he in AI?
Matty Moo. Wait, is he in AI? He's gone into AI. Maybe his controller died or something. Or wheel.
Oh, might have. Oh no.
Oh, that would be a massive shame if that happened.
It hasn't said he left.
It must have been like a disconnected, his controller disconnected or something. But Whammond's gone past Tripod. But Tripod's actually fighting back on Whammond. That's not going to help Whammond at all. If they're just going to be battling, that's going to allow XBLO to pull away a bigger gap as Tony Sun's now gone into the pits. So Tripod's the only one standing in Whammond's way.
Yeah, Whammond getting held up here. This is really going to help XBLO and Atlantis especially. Atlantis has, I talked about a little earlier, he's kind of had a quiet race. The two ahead of him collided.
Got a flag.
So,
Davis is
Davis
really
back
slow
in the
going into the
pits.
pits. He might have gotten damage or something. I think he's coming to retire. Yeah, he has.
Retire, yes he is. Whammond and Tripod side by side. Tripod still stays ahead here.
Yep, that's helping XBLO more and more. And I think if XBLO wins, you'd have to thank Tripod for holding up Whammond. As yeah, shame for Davis. Obviously, he was doing pretty okay, but he must have gotten damage or something, and now his race pretty much over. But now there's a bit of a battle for net P3. There's a battle for pretty much the podium if unless XBLO comes out ahead of these guys. KDX, Manny, and F1 Boy are battling for positions of still. Davis's car still not despawned, which is a bit stupid.
Still.
But here comes Whammond. Still can't get by.
He's getting
been forced off.
I might be biased here because I'm the Williams team owner, but I'm all for racing for position. Obviously, there are different strategies, but if he wants to fight for this, that's perfectly fine. But pushing him off the track a little bit, this is not exactly the greatest sort of racing.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, well, Tripod's defending a little too hard. Like, he's on a different strategy. I mean, if I was Tripod, I'd let Whammond through by now, but I mean, I guess he wants to.
He's allowed to fight for it. It's not in the rules where you have to let someone by. Whammond weaving the wheel in frustration here.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of has a right to. Like, Tripod's a bit of a roadblock for him.
And look at how much time Atlantis has gained out of this as well.
Yeah, he's now 1.6 seconds behind. I'm gonna get rid of the leader gap. I don't know why I'm doing that, but after 1.4, Tripod's doing a mad one for Atlantis and a mad one for XBLO.
Especially XBLO should be boxing maybe this lap
for mediums, I'd say.
Yeah, it take him about 12 laps. It's
yeah,
about where they would go.
He actually loses the car. And now that's going to
here
invite Atlantis to go through. Atlantis is now up into the net race lead.
Side
a huge mistake from Whammond. But now Whammond's
actually got DRS
though. So you're going to get past
here, but look at how Tripod has changed this race. Atlantis now, he's going to be right on Whammond. He's going to be able to put the pressure on. As I said, XBLO boxes this time. Tripod stays out again.
KDX.
Yeah, Maddie's strong run as well, up to P5, net P3 at the moment.
Tire's gone into that Red Bull.
See where he comes out. He's going to be just behind this train, I think.
Yeah, he's
P7,
behind,
P8.
Yep, P7 behind F1 Boy, KDX and Maddie. He needs to get past these guys for sure if he wants to get invited into this fight.
He's got a lot of work to do, but he's got the tire advantage to do it.
And Tripod's still holding up these guys.
Might be able to see a McLaren reunion between Atlantis and Maddie if he stays out the rest of this race.
There's going to be a reunion between the old championship rivals, the supposed championship rivals from season 3. It should have been Tripod versus Atlantis, but
yeah.
And now Tripod's helping his old championship rival.
No, let's see.
Making the race more interesting, for sure.
For sure, and he's using a bit of his battery here to pull away. I don't think Whammond's gonna be able to get by unless Tripod pits, basically. So if Tripod's coming in for mediums, he's gonna probably pit now or the next time by. Or if he's going for softs, he's going a couple extra laps longer.
As F1
F1
boys pass
boy.
KDX, and I
Here
think
comes
XPO is
XPO.
trying to go for it.
Oh
As XPO gets damage!
no, XPO.
And that's XPO out of the race pretty much now because of that, and yeah, he's gone wide
He's
and
gonna stay. He's gonna stick it out, but he's
he
got
outbroke
damage.
himself. He outbroke himself for sure. But now it's pretty much Wyman and Atlantis now for this race win, unless there's a late race safety car.
I'm thinking
As
Tripod's
Kostag
going for some sauce
is
here.
getting overtaken by Milo. As Kostag actually hit the back of Milo. I'm not sure if that's damage. Bam is retired in the pits. Another retirement.
Down to 14.
Yeah, there's been a lot of retirements, but most of them self-inflicted. But still, a bit of a poor race in terms of retirements. Atlantis, 5/10 behind, around the same gap to Wyman and Tripod and Wyman to Atlantis. So, but that 30 hours is really going to be affecting.
Wyman, when he nails it, he's
drivers.
really good through this Banks right-hander onto the straight. You can see from Atlantis' POV. As
Here
Wyman
comes Wyman now. Is he finally going to get past Tripod?
to the inside.
I think he's
locks
finally going to
up.
pull it off. Oh my god,
No,
no way.
Tripod's
He's
got
not.
the switch
Tripod's
back.
going to get back past. They're still
Side by
side.
side.
And Wyman forces him off, but Tripod's still ahead. I think Tripod is DRS.
I can't believe
No, he
this.
actually doesn't. Neither driver
He's
said
got
DRS.
DRS. No, neither do have him. Wyman
Yeah,
looking
now
around the
now
outside
Wyman's
will
around
be able
the
to make it
outside,
work.
and I think Tripod's still
Atlantis
ahead.
goes
He's
on the
still-
inside of.
Oh, that was a bit ballsy from Atlantis, but he tried it, but it was a bit ballsy for sure. Milo, as Kostag's gone for a slide, and that's allowed Fruity to go through. He's gone for a massive slide. That was a great save from Kostag there when I was going down the order. Expo's still staying behind.
Still with this train.
Yeah, even with that wing damage.
I'll tell you one thing. Wyman is absolutely fuming.
I mean, to be honest, he probably has a right to. If this is me, I'd be absolutely fuming myself.
This is beyond
So,
what
honestly,
I would call racing at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah, a Tripod is being way too over aggressive. He needs to either pit or allow these guys through. He's fighting for position, which is fair enough. And like the racing, the way he's racing is a bit questionable. As
Locks
Atlantis
up into
actually
the
lost a bit of
hairpin.
time.
Yeah, he must have made a mistake that we didn't catch. Probably sector 2.
Oh,
we have a spinner.
Yeah, I think it's Bennett who might have had a slide. Is Tripod finally pitting? No, he's not. He's still staying out. What is this?
I'm telling you, if he stays out the rest of the race, Maddie's gonna be up here.
I mean, he's gonna get disqualified eventually if he stays out for any longer.
This has
He has to
absolutely
pit
changed this
eventually.
race dynamic.
But I mean, like, to be honest,
I don't know what to make of this.
If Wyman complains in the post-race interviews, I'm not gonna lie, I can't blame him one bit, because this from Tripod is a bit silly at this point, of like being over aggressive in a battle where he's not really fighting for, because he's eventually gonna have to pit.
I'm looking at
1 or
chat.
2 laps fine, but like this
Yeah.
driving from Tripod has been.
Fortnite Racing Association Light Machine Gun has said Atlantis saving up the ERS. He might end up winning this race. It's very true. He's got 60% compared to Wyman, who's desperately trying to get by Tripod. He's got 20. And
Is he finally gonna do it? Come on, Wyman. Can you finally get past Tripod on lap 20, 28?
Tripod's later with the brakes.
Outside. Oh no. Oh, he finally gets through with his contact, and now it's gonna invite Atlantis.
Atlantis from the outside. If Tripod wanted to pit this lap, he can't.
But he does it, and
Wyman's
Tripod
finally
still.
through, I think.
And he's
We're
leaping in
gonna-
excitement. He's like, finally, I'm past Tripod, but here comes Tripod now. He's not going to defend from Atlantis, which is a bit questionable, but that's like me getting frustrated over people not defending hard on the other person. Happened in
And
ABS.
and the best part is Atlantis gets by straight away. It's gonna be a straight
Yeah,
fight between
I
these top
hate when
two,
that
I think.
happens with me. When there's like a massive, when everyone's like, when like there's a car ahead letting another guy through and then defending for their lives. This is literally the extreme example of that today. That's literally an extreme example.
This
But
has absolutely changed everything now, especially because Atlantis with the ERS advantage over Woman by about 20-30% here. You'll be able
yeah,
to put the pressure
if
on.
Ramen wins, he definitely deserves it. And if Atlantis wins, GG's to him. But honestly, like because of Tripod, that
Holy
win
cow.
would be a bit, yeah.
Trapod's probably gonna pit this time as well for some soft tires at the end here.
Yeah, but
So-
like, what is he doing?
I respected it at the beginning because he was holding him off, and then it just got a bit dirty towards the end.
Yeah. I think Wyman forced him off, but honestly, at this point, he had a right
I
to.
don't blame him, to be honest.
He had a right to.
I
Definitely.
think
and,
most
and Tripod
drivers.
pits after he finally lets those two through. He's finally pinning.
Putting on some soft tires, we'll be going for a fastest lap attempt as well.
He's gonna be like, he's not even gonna be. He's probably gonna be.
I don't
last.
think he'll be
Well,
top.
Maybe not. Maybe not last.
Probably just
Maybe
ahead of
around-
Bennett.
Probably, I think actually Bennett might jump him. Yeah, Bennett jumps him. Quite a good bit actually. So yeah,
The
this
Tripod's
is really,
got some work to do to get back to the points here. All that fighting has really compromised the race. Look how far, like, even with Xvilo being in that train and having the wing damage, Tripod was only about 5 seconds behind him before Xvilo pit.
yeah.
So, he's lost
And now
loads of time. I don't know. He might look back at this and think it might be a mistake. Or, you know, it is fun. But I know Waman and Atlantis didn't think it was fun.
yeah, and I can't blame him for being pissed off over it. Because like, come on, like you're slow. You're a car who's like supposed to pit like later on anyways. You need to at least give more respect on when racing guys who are battling for the win, because this has pretty much affected the whole
Yeah.
race.
I
If it's a ticket
I
open,
try to be
I can't blame
unbiased because that is my driver, but if you can tell in my voice, I think my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, even though you're being, well, technically, but even I'm annoyed about this, because, I mean, Alfa Romeo is my old team, and Alfa Romeo still hold a place in my heart, like, so,
Yes.
even I'm finding this a bit stupid from Tripod. Like, Tripod's one of my, well, we don't really talk that much anymore, but Tripod used to be one of my best mates, so,
Tripod has gotten
Still.
by Bennett for P11, 5 seconds to Fruity ahead, trying to steal the final points paying position. Tony does have a
Okay.
penalty ahead of him, ahead of Fruity, so maybe Tripod can grab a little bit more. And Stag also has the 5 second from that incident with, well, it was Bennett earlier.
yeah, as the gap is staying the same between Wyman and Atlantis. Let's have a warning. I'm gonna have a warning chart between those two because you know Wyman has 3 warnings. Now I'm not sure if 2 of those are for corner cutting. I'm gonna check. Cross the pit lane, exit white line, exceed track limits, and exceeded track. So he's Wyman has 2 warnings. I believe Atlantis would have nothing. He's 1 warning. I think that might have been for contact with Tripod.
Maybe.
Exceeded
Later in
track
the
limits is-
race, about 20, let me look for
So,
it.
if Wyman gets 1 more warning, then Atlantis does have this win. So, Wyman
No,
might be
actually.
feeling the pressure a little bit.
Atlantis was for exceeding, so he has 1 track limit warning.
Yeah, but Whammon is 2.
Yeah, okay. So, both... Woman in a worse position. Milo's actually picked up a penalty, so that's just helping Tripod out here. 3 people ahead of him that he can possibly get to here have penalties.
Yeah, the softs will die at the end, but I mean, the softs only go about like 4 laps until they start to become really, really bad. So he needs to gain all that time in 2 laps before his softs start to die a little bit. I think for long term, he probably should have gone mediums, but still. Atlantis
We're gonna have a good battle.
Still 7/10 behind Whammon. I think it's all about him pressuring Whammon into a mistake and getting a penalty. Or something,
And these two,
something like that.
These two dead even on penalties. They were dead even on ERS right before this straight. So it's just gonna be a straight battle. If Atlantis forces Whammon into a mistake.
Oh, and Whammon actually was tank stopper a little bit, but he doesn't lose too much time from it. You go wide, no, he stays on the track.
We've got a battle farther back for P7. Milo on Kostag here with Tony's son and Fruity in waiting, with Tripod catching up to this train as well.
Yeah, Tripod shouldn't have too much trouble dealing with these guys. If he just races with how he's racing with Whammon and Atlantis. You should get past these guys easily. Yeah, it's a big train between these guys. To be fair, fair play to XBLO for staying in P5 despite the wing damage. Like, most people would just hit it and give up, but he's persevering. He's handled with the damage pretty well.
And if he can just keep it up as FH finally tires, if he could just keep in that window of 3 seconds to F1 boy, he's gonna be able to get himself a good P4. Obviously, maybe a podium could have been on the cards, but obviously this still a very good finish. As yeah, Tripod's picked up a penalty, so that leaves Fruity, the big gainer out of this train that we have here, from 7th to 11th.
That's another thing we'd usually say. Fruity's known for Fruity is known for bloody.
Here comes Milo.
Getting penalties. As Fruity and Tripod are now going out. Tripod going around the outside. Bit of wheel banging, but it's fair.
He's got it done.
And got it done now. Milo and Costa probably. These two are
Fruity, oh,
you
cursed him. Oh, you've cursed Fruity.
Oh, for God's sake. I always curse people, for God's sakes. I'm just X-curse God 26X. Okay? I just cursed him, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, to be honest, this race has been...
It's been an interesting one, I'll say that much.
Yeah. A bit dirty. I'm just gonna straight up, this race has been dirty, and hopefully these lot have a better race next week, because the driving hasn't been amazing, I'm not gonna lie, especially with the whole... Yeah.
As a whole, this race just, it doesn't compare to Bahrain in the cleanliness sense.
But there could be a battle for the race win, hopefully, as FH has left the session, he's out of the race.
Battle for the race
people are
win,
saying,
and there's battle for P7. Milo on Kostag. To the inside this time, Kostag really squeezing him here. Oh, they make contact.
As his contact, oh
no.
And now that's going to invite Tripod, but he's actually losing ground to Tony's son.
Kostag.
As now Fruity's... Oh, Fruity!
No!
Tripod has absolutely sent Fruity into the wall. What on earth was that from Tripod?
If I'm
Unless
Bennett
there's like
right
some
now,
sort
I
of...
am pushing as hard as possible because Tripod is definitely not finishing this one inside the points, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he might be getting a huge penalty for that. Cause he just squeezed. He just squeezed through the coast. Honestly, that's just stupid. That was absolutely ridiculous.
So we'll
There's
still
definitely going
have
to be
that.
some questions asked with Tripod
Yeah,
today, but
definitely.
that gap's still staying in that 7/10 gap every time, every lap. It's been 7/10 on that straight.
Yeah, look at how much ERS Wampin has here. He's really been able to save up Atlantis. I said it earlier. Wampin just gets an absolutely amazing run out of that long right-hander, and he's just been able to keep this gap to Atlantis. That 7/10 gap every time. Atlantis just hasn't been able to get close enough. But
Yeah,
it's not over yet because we saw in GSR's Tier 5 around here, the guy who was going to win the race, Joseph, got a penalty final lap and it allowed Communist to take the race win. Um, anything could happen here. 1 and 2 warnings. You still got to be careful. And Bennett gets by Tripod, who has the wing damage here. Bennett's had a quiet second half of the race after that incident with Kostag. He's going to be able to, I think he's going to be able to get a good amount of points here just because of the penalties ahead of him and the amount of dirty racing we've had just ahead of him in that train. But turn back to the race lead here. Super Woman, Atlantis, this is going to be it.
yeah. Will Atlantis have enough in it? Now,
Again, he's a little closer this
Wyman has
time.
better ERS.
He does. I think Woman's just going to be able to hold on here.
Yeah, he's definitely pulling away. So, heading around Atlantis did not have enough. Obviously with the whole tripod thing, really opened up the race. But Super Wyman is going to come across the line to win the Tier 2 Chinese Grand Prix. Well deserved from him. Atlantis taking P2. A lot closer than it probably should have been. Manny Mooney going to come home P3. That F1 boy P4. X below. Fair play to him on having the wing damage. P5.
Yeah, fifth place, good
P6.
result.
Milo P7. Hustler P8. Tony some P9. And you got a few for Bennett, P10, but he gets P7. So
P7 in the end off penalties.
And Tripod is finishes last. He's gonna get big penalties for sure.
Overall, again, I'll say it again, interesting race. Definitely changed after the alternate strategy runners. And a lot of controversy throughout, I think. Congratulations to all on the podium. We got Woman Atlantis and then Maddie with a very quiet P3 today. See if we can get them into the party. We'll get their opinions. I think we know what question we want to ask, especially Woman and Atlantis.
Yeah. Matty had a pretty quiet. Well, he was in that train, but he had a pretty decent overall.
Yeah, we got all three.
Matty, and then wait, Matty's not in yet. I don't think. Wait, is he? Oh, he is. All right, never mind. All right, might as well start the interviews early because, oh boy, there is going to be a lot of words I want to say to the Tier 2 boys because that. I'll say it afterwards. I don't want to say it now before I say something stupid, but I'm just gonna say, to put it nicely, that was a mess. Starting off with Wyman, you should have won the race comfortably, but a few circumstances made it a lot closer than it should have been. It made it an interesting spectacle for the spectators, but honestly, for you, if you can go on a rant if you want, because that even me and Axe thought that defending was a bit questionable from Tripod. What were your thoughts on that? Defending from him, Wyman.
Uh, sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Oh, what were your thoughts on Tripod's defending? Because even me and Axe thought it was a bit stupid.
Uh, I was really mad during the race. Because I had about 80% of tire wear at the end. I could have had 60, 65.
Holy cow.
And it's just, it was really annoying because he could have just let me by and stayed in my DRS, but he had to. I lost 4 seconds to Atlantis because of him. So it's just a little annoying, but whatever, that's just racing.
Yeah, your second, you still won the race. Your second win in a row. Obviously you probably wanted to win in more comfortable circumstances, but it's still a win. Heading into Japan next week, obviously you got 2 wins on the bounce. Do you think you now have the confidence now to maybe go 3 in a row, or do you think you're not strong enough?
It'll be interesting because I like the track, but I'm not particularly strong there. So I'm hoping to carry the momentum from these wins over to Japan.
Yeah, congratulations on the win. I'm gonna keep the interview short tonight. Axe, do you have any questions for Wyman?
No, congratulations. It's 2 in a row now, and next up, what do we have next? Japan?
Yeah, Japan. Wheelbase track, but it's whatever. I'm gonna move on now to P2 Alanis. Axe, I'll actually let you interview him. Oh
Alright,
yeah. All right.
I forgot.
I guess I'll let you interview Matty.
Alright, well, Maddie, very quiet compared to some of the drivers. How'd you, think of your overall race today?
Well, it was just chill. I didn't really do much. Overtook a few people, just consistent, stayed out of trouble, and somehow ended up here.
Yeah, there was a lot of battling. Most of it was behind you, and a couple seconds up the road of you. Did you ever think you had a shot at Atlantis and Woman? Like, or was it just a destined?
I don't think. I knew that I didn't have the pace anyway coming into this race. The win was pretty much out the question. So yeah, once I saw that I was basically in a net E3, I was just there, and I didn't decide to push, just bring it home.
Congrats on the podium. Polo, anything from Maddie? It was a really quiet race for him, so I don't have much.
Not really. My headset's about to die, so I need to end this quickly. My headset actually has battery life now, so that's fun. But I need to. But congrats on the P3. You had a bit of a quiet race, but still, solid race from you. Yeah. Axe, quick final thoughts on the race. I think we all know what we kind of think of the race and what we've said on
I've
commentary.
said it a few times. Very interesting race.
And that's putting
Didn't
it
turn
nicely.
out how we thought it was gonna, like, towards the beginning. Didn't turn out exactly how I thought it was gonna. But it was entertaining, at least. I'll give it that. But the clean racing from Bahrain, for the most part, did not really carry over today.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about it in the after the stream. Tune in tomorrow for Tier 1. 5 p.m. UK, 12 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
You'll be watching me and Axe race there, also in China. So hopefully you guys look forward to that. I've been xProLegal26x. I've been I'm not Axe. No, I'm not Axe. I my wording's been worse in this race. But anyway, I will catch you in a bit.